great that you all are here. That's lovely. That's great that we can continue with the rebirth sessions. Wow. And it's always brand new, and also today. So that immediately comes with an idea of, I don't know how to do this. I have no idea how to do this. Wonderful. Completely open to let me be inspired to let this just occur the way it should. I have no plan, I have some ingredients, as I always say. It's like there are some ingredients that I think are really lovely to share with one another. But yeah, how are you doing? How is your day? Where are you? Where are you with your attention? Are you in the same place as me? Then it's wonderful. We can meet right here. So if you are not completely present here, then let go of your hopelessness, let go of your concerns, let go of any kind of thing that you think is going on outside of this where we actually meet, because there isn't anything going on. I can tell you that. From deep experience, there's nothing else going on than exactly this. Right now, this is the only thing that is happening in the universe. And if you're distracted and think that there's something else going on, well, there you go. Your mind is occupied with something else that is related to the past. It has nothing to do with here right now. Now, and here right now is really where the rebirth takes place, so that's where you will be brought back to all the time. At least when you are here, when you come to this meeting, when you are present, whether you see this or hear this, or who knows what happens. If you are here, you're present here, and you actually come to the place where everything is going on. One step outside, one step with your thoughts outside of this frame, you could say, outside of this moment, is all the past that there can possibly be. And the past is over, so in fact you're nowhere. And so that becomes more and more obvious since we're exercising and practicing this. We're actually practicing the present. Wow, that sounds familiar. We have a great friend that we share, one of our common friends, which is Joel Goldsmith, that actually reminds us of that in his book, like the present, practicing the present. And yeah, in the Course in Miracles, there is like the present memory. So it's like that memory is right here. It doesn't go anywhere else. It's right here, right here, right here. It has nothing to do with anything else. It has nothing to do with a second ago or 2 minutes from now. No, it's exactly here. And so that's great that we can meet there, because that's in fact where all the light is, where all the love is, where no fear can exist. Because where would you be afraid of if this is everything? Like there's nothing to anticipate, there's nothing to regret, because literally this is the only time there is. And you're it, you're in it, and you're completely connected to this present moment. A moment which is really a moment where all creation takes place. It's like you cannot find this anywhere else. You cannot find it tomorrow. You cannot find it in 6 weeks or in 5,000 years from now. No, it is happening now. God is pouring his love over you in this instant. And if you don't experience that right now, just let it happen for a moment. It's all right. Like it is happening anyway. Now you want that fully in your awareness. And in order to receive that, you will have to undergo like a rebirth experience. And that is very possible. You know, that is not like rocket science. No, it is the opposite of rocket science. It's going within. You go within. It is like the most natural thing that you could possibly do. Finding yourself in a place distracted by all kinds of things, you actually stop for a moment, come back to yourself, close your eyes for all the nothing that seems to be occurring, thinking that you are this, letting that idea go too. It's like, no, it has nothing to do with that. No, you're not even this image that you think you are. You're not even sitting there in your chair. You're not even watching this. This is taking place in a whole different place inside you. That's where this has everything to do with. It has nothing to do with any kind of image at all. Now that is really lovely. See, now you see, we come closer to that all the time, that I'm sharing something. In fact, you feel more and more light, say light availability, you could say, or more access to the light. You feel that, oh yeah, wait, oh, my mind goes this way. Oh wait, no, I need to go in. Like, no. Or, well, don't I need to solve this? I should not forget about this that I have to do afterwards, or blah, blah, blah. No, there is no afterwards. For now, we take it as an exercise to become present here. It is an exercise that you can do a couple of times a day. That is already great. And recognizing that this is the only moment that there is. And like, oh yeah, wait a minute. It's all happening in here. None of this is so. This is what I'm looking at is really over. It's gone. It is not even there. It is just an image. It's like a hologram. I'm looking at a hologram, seeing reflected what I'm thinking, and what I'm thinking is actually not thinking at all. So it's like, so what is left then? Yeah, well, you could say empty space, but it is not just empty space. It is consciousness itself. So it is alive. It is presence. It's like, wow, it is presence. We become quiet in that. So still and so, say, limitless. So incredibly timeless. So it has nothing to do with any definition that we give it. So there's not much to say about that in that sense. It is just what it is, and it's always there. You can't lose it. You cannot, you can resist it in your little dream. You can delay coming to this moment as long as you want, but that's not what we're doing here. So there's every opportunity to let yourself be brought to this, because honestly, you're not able to do this. You can bring it as far as like, I have no idea how to do that, and that's exactly the admission that you have to make to yourself. Like, I have no idea how to do this. In that, it can be completely given to you. It's in fact, you open the door when you say that, because this part is not of you as you see yourself. So this is what the rebirth is, admitting that you don't know how to move further. You just say run out of options in order to maintain the dream of limitation. Well, congratulations, that's exactly the spot where you need to come to. And then you admit, I don't know what the next step will be. I have no idea how to look on any of this, or how even to reach God. And I don't even know what God is. I don't know what love is and light is. I have no idea, but I love to experience it. So I'm, opening my consciousness for that. In this moment, I'm opening my consciousness for that occurrence to take place. I cannot do it. Like, it's not under my conscious control, but I'm gaining certainty that it will be given to me. Because sometimes something lifts up in me, like something lights up in me, some stirring that takes place. Like, definitely something is going on. Now I want to dive deeper into that, but I don't know how to do that. So it has to be given. And I have to let myself slide into that, so to speak. This is really what the rebirth is. Like, you enter the point of no return. You could say you dive into your black hole of not knowing at all, total uncertainty. But something happens, and you're actually being, caught, or you're actually being sustained. Suddenly you feel that your consciousness shifted in frequency. Suddenly you feel light and presence, and that feels totally different than you're used to as you say see yourself as a human being. It's totally different. But it's a real, true occurrence that can take place now. Now there are many, just like I'm sharing this with you, it's like there are many that put this down in a poem, in a bit of scripture, or in a book. Like, yeah, many of us did that, wrote it down. It's like, I have to find a way to share this, even in words, to share at least what it isn't, or what I feel as inspiration to share with you regarding to this rebirth, or this transformation of mind, where I shift into a whole different frequency, entering into a 0 point, into a place that, wow, there's no time and no space, but there's an elevation, there's a lifting up of my consciousness in exactly that spot. But I don't know how to get there and how to do that, but it can be given to me. Now, somebody who shared that with us is somebody from India. His name is Sri Aurobindo. I use him more often because he's a great poet. He actually writes spiritual poetry. He did write that, books full, like such an incredible English, so beautiful to read that. That's for one thing, but so clear in expressing exactly this, what I'm trying to point out to you. That we're going to use that in a contemplation that I'm going to share with you now. So this is from Sri Aurobindo. We're going to use this as a contemplation. So I will read it. Then there will be a bit of a break, like 4 or 5 minutes of silence. Then I'll repeat it again. And then you will hear Michelle repeat it in French then for us. So here we go. Sit back and relax, because there's no doing on your part. This is a matter of receiving. This is a matter of being open, opening your consciousness, and not being distracted by anything else. Just trying to be completely here and open. Like your one desire is to come in touch with what is actually being shared here. Really, really amazing. An amazing opportunity. Transformation. My breath runs in a subtle rhythmic stream. It fills my members with a might divine. I've drunk the infinite like a giant's wine. Time is my drama or my pageant dream. Now are my illumined cells joy's flaming scheme, and changed my thrilled and branching nerves to fine channels of rapture, opal and hyaline. For the influx of the unknown and the supreme, I am no more a vassal of the flesh, a slave to nature and her leaden rule. I am caught no more in the senses' narrow mesh. My soul unhorizoned widens to measureless sight. My body is God's happy living tool. My spirit is a vast sun of deathless light. My breath runs in a subtle rhythmic stream. It fills my members with a might divine. I have drunk the infinite like a giant's wine. Time is my drama or my pageant dream. Now are my illumined cells joy's flaming scheme, and changed my thrilled and branching nerves to fine channels of rapture, opal and hyaline. For the influx of the unknown and the supreme, I am no more a vessel of the flesh, a slave to nature and a lead and rule. I am caught no more in the senses' narrow mesh. My soul, unhorizoned, widens to measureless sight. My body is God's happy living tool, and my spirit is a vast sun of deathless light.
Transformation. Mon souffle coule en un courant rhythmique subtil. Il emplit mes membres d'une puissance divine. J'ai bu l'infini comme un vin de géant. Le temps est mon drame ou mon spectacle de rêve. Mes cellules illuminées sont dès lors un schéma flamboyant de la joie et les fils frémissants de mes nerfs changés en fins canaux d'ivresse, opale et hyalite, pour l'influx de l'inconnu et le suprême. Je ne suis plus vassal de la chair, esclave de la nature et sa règle de plomb. Je ne suis plus captif des réels étroits des sens. Mon âme, déhorizonnée, s'étend à une vue immesurable. Mon corps est l'heureux outil vivant de Dieu. Mon esprit, un vaste soleil de lumière immortelle.
So that was a beautiful poem, but see, there's a possibility to experience something, and this is really where this is about. It's like, well, whatever ingredient is given is in fact like all, like, yeah, come, yes, 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 let go, yeah. There's really an experience for you here. Behind these words, they're actually bringing you in a recognition of what is. Now, see, that goes up and down. Like we up and down in the sense of, in the rebirth sessions, we actually say using the time, you could say, to find out where actually find each other, or for find yourself, where you find yourself. That's a better way of saying it. Like a place where you actually find yourself. And what I mean with that is, like, I can share these words, and they have a capacity, if you let go of all, to actually hear what is being shared. And in other words, for one moment you might be tempted to let go of your idea about yourself. So there's a possibility of a rebirth moment, you could say, and a healing moment, and that's why we use that. Now, sometimes it works in the healing sense of speaking to be pushed in your darkness, you could say, a little bit deeper, in order to recognize it, to actually recognize that you have a problem, or that you have no control, or that that the darkness that you're afraid to look at is actually okay to be, say, faced with, because you discover that the fear for it is, say, doable. I wouldn't say completely gone, but doable to, in fact, allow it to take a look at it. Now here, something can really happen for you, because, say, in your human ways, which are so different like what was mentioned in the poem was like a mesh, like a labyrinth, like a net. You were caught in a net of human limitation. Now that you have been taught that way by somebody who you trusted completely. It's like your parents taught you limitation in a way that, like, no, you can trust what we're saying. We want you to trust us. And what did they actually teach you? Limitation. Human love. Limitation. Say danger. Fear. Like, well, don't do that. Whatever you do, don't do that. And of course, these were the things that you actually were doing in the end. And yes, you shouldn't have done it. Okay, so you learned that yourself. So the things, you could say the things that you didn't accept directly from your parents as a lesson, you got those lessons for yourself, where you actually bumped your nose and said like, okay, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I really should not have done that. Now that immediately you can say that was an error. That was just a mistake. Well, if you can look at it like that, then it's okay. But if you think like there's something wrong with me because I actually did that, I'm guilty of doing that, or I'm doing this or that, and I say timestamp the experience and take it with me in my backpack full of memories of physicality, or a real backpack for a book and your diary. You wrote it down like, yeah, on this day, oh my God, what happened? You know, all of this is time stamped, you could say. Like there's a tag on it. That happened then. It's a fact. To you, it's a fact. It's an occurrence that is unforgivable, and now you got to deal with it. You did that and you shouldn't have done it. Or that happened to you and you never wanted that to happen to you, but it happened. Now what? So this is all, say, in the backpack of ideas, whether that's your physical body or in the backpack, in your diary. But you take it with you. You don't seem to be able to do anything with it except carrying the burden of it. And maybe you get some sessions with a psychologist, or you get some who knows what, who's actually still confirming the actual occurrence as a real happening to you, and how do you feel about it, and all of this, confirming that it was an actual experience. Also confirming it to you as a fact, like, okay, that happened, now you have to deal with it. And see, here is the rebirth that is possible would say entail at the same time that you cannot hold on to those ideas, like those things that you think occurred and you carry with you in your idea about yourself. You will have to take a different look at it. You will have to learn to let them go. They are not defining you. They are not telling you anything about who you are, because then it would mean that what you are can change, or then you might think that what happened to you has shaped you to something that is not perfect, that is not whole, and that's not complete. Well, and that idea, you learn that also from your parents, that's in fact the idea, like, well, as human beings, we're never perfect, we cannot do this, blah, 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 blah. So I'm not confirming any of these as a reality, but you certainly have put your trust in it. You learned it, consciously or not, for you, kind of a safe spot where you actually felt safe to receive that. Now, all that's going to be undone because it is based on nothing. It is based on the past, and it's based on ideas that have nothing to do with your reality. It is like a pseudo personality that you walk around in. So that's why it takes a moment for it to be undone. And before you see, just like we read in the poem, that your cells are illumined and perfectly created by God, and He in fact plays with it. Or who knows, it's like, it is not at all how you look at yourself as the way that you are, until this rebirth is happening. And so that's why in these rebirth sessions that we do, there are exercises where you actually, where I'm asking you, for instance, this time, I'm asking you, well, dive into that moment that you feel so stuck and so as if you're wrapped in double-sided tape and don't know how to get out. Like, okay, make actually a sculpture of that, or like bring it into a visual idea about yourself, not to make it lofty or anything, no, to actually get your hands dirty and go into it and see what that is and how that feels, even as a three-dimensional structure. And now, why am I sharing that with you? Because there's something there for you to discover, especially in this sphere that we're entering in now. It's like the place where we actually meet, this moment, this perfect moment, and this moment that is not related to anything that happened in the past. Now we can take a look at these things, or these experiences, these human experiences, these drama experiences of space and time, limitation, pain, disease, disaster, and all, the riddle. It's like now we can, from this place on, we can take a look at it and see literally the insanity of it. Like, how could that possibly be true if I am, say, in direct communication with the Supreme, with the Divine, with the God, with God who created me as the love that I am. So then looking back at it, at the thing that you made, or the object that came up, or the, however you're going to present that, will be totally different. And to see a change in that, to suddenly see like, well, to be out of that would be such a different experience. So to give you an example, like I made a little video just with some images, you could say, that actually illustrate this. So how do I feel when I'm separate? I feel that the whole world is literally moving around me. Everything is in movement, but I'm completely like stuck. I'm completely still, completely like imprisoned in my idea of myself. I stand there and everything around me is moving, up to the moment that I allow a shift to occur, to see that none of this is so. That was just an image. I experienced suddenly the freedom of my mind, you could say, like I'm not caught in it any longer. I'm escaping literally, or shifting out of it into a whole different experience of myself. Okay, so I tried to visualize that and say, made some music connected to that. And I'm sharing that with you. that is just an example of how that feels to me. It's like suddenly I'm stuck, but also like I'm suddenly giving up that idea. Suddenly something shifts. I don't even know how it happens, and I experience spaciousness. I experience like extension. Something opens up. It's like, wow, I had no idea. I didn't see that coming. Everything is suddenly changed. I have no idea, but I'm so grateful that this can occur. And however that is looking now, I just use symbols, in fact, as a body standing still and a body up in the sky diving its way down. And but the free fall in that I really love too. It's like that is a great metaphor too. It's like you're in good hands. You can completely trust. It's like you don't need, say, to feel the earth under your feet in order to trust. It's a bit like that. So it's like your trust and security has nothing to do with this planet in that sense. It has everything to do with where it's happening in you. That's where your safety is. And you forget this all the time. I forget this all the time because my mind is always looking for and always encountering seeming problems and engaging itself in finding the solution. Now I give that up. Suddenly there is space in my consciousness for something else to occur. Well, this is just very practical and down to earth, the way that I'm sharing this with you. It's very practical. But it's great because it is like, okay, so in that sense, you are not able to do that. That's how far your practical sense goes. You're not able to do this. But you are, say, if you're willing to let this change occur, it will occur. You can trust that. But it's not by your doing. And you're so accustomed to doing and saving yourself, brought up by your parents like this. It's like you can do this by yourself now. It's like, no, wait a minute. No. It's a different story going on, and I'm so happy to have found that. So this is what we share with one another in this moment. It's like still coming back to the plateau of enlightenment, and looking back into the valley for just a moment. It's like, oh my God, can you believe that? It's like, wow, I make one thing true and suddenly there's a whole world confirming every single step and every single idea that I have. The whole world is confirming that to me. Well, none of it is true. All right, so this is the first part of the meeting. The second part is non-public. That means that we share in private in this class and share that with one another as a gift to each other. As a remembrance to each other, and or as an expression of, I have no idea how to express this, but I finally got to the point that I'm actually not afraid to face it. So thank you so much for listening, for being part of this, and I hope to see you soon.